We are caring. We are compassionate. We are your neighbors. We are here. We are faith.
Brian Hodnett, your Tigers had an extra week of practice. Get ready for this upcoming game this week. And who do you have Friday night?
We're going to high school Friday night. They're a young team, real physical and good at what they do. They don't do a whole lot offensively, but they're good at what they do. Got a real athletic quarterback. It's a long bus trip from here, so we got to be prepared and get ready to play. It's their homecoming, so they'll be fired up. But it's our last tune-up before we start district. And last week was good, but I don't like open dates. It's a lot easier this week to know who you're playing and getting ready for a game. But last week was good. We went back to the basics and got to spend a lot of time just on fundamental stuff rather than game plan stuff. But it's good to be game planning again.
Sure, it would have been good to use that 36-7. I think it was a win last week. Use that momentum coming into this week. But the extra week of practice, you get some extra time. You work on the fundamentals. You've had some good weather to do it. You actually looking at film today?
We did earlier in the athletic period. We gave the kids a scouting report, watched a little bit of video, and each position coach will kind of watch with his position throughout the week. We really try to stress a lot of video to know your opponent. The more mentally prepared you are, the better you play. And so we're really preaching that with the guys. But we do a pretty good job of watching video throughout the week.
What is that system like? I've heard just a little bit about that, where the kids can actually look at it at home on the internet, on their own computers?
Yes, sir. It's called Huddle, Hudl. And they all have a login through an email address, and they have access to their video. They have access to opponent video, and I don't know if all the kids know it, but we can actually see how much video they watch. So we ask and see, and then we can get on there and look and see if they're really watching. And that has really changed in the last 10 years, where you can watch video. But if they can't have access to that, we try to get them copies of DVDs or whatever we need to do. We just want them to see who they're playing. And like I said, the better you know your opponent, the faster we feel like you can play.
Boy, isn't that the truth? And what a great tool. So how do you match up against this team Friday night?
There's a lot of things I think about Haskell and us that are very similar. They have several kids that play both ways. They're not as big as some of the teams we have faced, but they're real aggressive. They're real quick, and like I say, they're a triple option and a midline team. And when you play those guys, you have to be very disciplined. You have to do your responsibility and not get caught up or get tired of seeing the same thing over and over, because you will. And the one time you don't tackle that fullback, he'll have the ball and he'll be streaking up the middle. So it's also hard to simulate in practice. You put together a scout team and you try to simulate what Haskell does offensively, and it's really hard to do because they're good at what they do. But we've just got to be physical. Even though we had a big win against Olney, we still turned it over 4 times. We've got some things in the kicking game that we need to fix, and so there's plenty of things to work on. But like you said, we are riding some momentum into this week.
You think your guys, though, have been able to forget about that 36-7 win from the standpoint of focusing on this upcoming game?
We've talked about 1 week at a time. We have a 24-hour rule around here, and when you win, you can enjoy it for 24 hours, and then it's on to the next opponent. And if you lose, you can be upset about it for about 24 hours, and then it's time to learn, those tough lessons and then move forward and know that you're better because of it. So, our head's by no means big because we remember those first 3 ball games, and we went through some growing pains there. We have some confidence, hopefully, but at the same time we know that at any point when you don't go into a game prepared and confident, that it may be a long night.
And I see a lot of purple and white flags around this community, around the square, and all over the place. So a lot of team spirit in this community, isn't there?
Yeah, there's lots of excitement about the season. These kids have lots of support, and it's great to see all the flags flying and people excited about football, and that's what we want. That breeds success, and I think our younger kids see that, and it makes them want to be a part of it, when they get to high school. And to me, that's a big part of it, to keep your numbers up and make it a tradition around here.
Where's a guy have to go to get a pair of sunglasses like that?
Academy, Sports and Outdoors. So
hey, in this weather, it's required equipment.
You've got to have. I do. My eyes are pretty sensitive to the sun, so I try to wear them all the time.
Yeah, it's terrific. Well, listen, let's talk to a couple of players. How about it?
Sounds good, Bob.
Coach Hodnett, a couple of your standout players from that game 2 weeks ago. Introduce these guys. We want to visit with them.
Yes, sir. Right here to my left is senior Ramon Salazar. Ramon plays fullback on offense and defensive line on defense. Next to him is senior Brandon Thompson. Brandon plays offensive line and defensive line as well.
Terrific. Spend just a couple of minutes with these guys. Brandon, that game a couple of weeks ago, 36-7, and you got a bye week. Do y'all find that you're going to that there's a letdown the bye week, or are you able to take advantage of the extra week of practice?
I think we really took advantage of the bye week and just, really worked hard to get back in the deal.
I think Coach told me he was going to focus on some fundamentals and just get back to basics, and so that extra week comes in handy. What about you, Ramon, from your perspective?
I think we've been working hard. We've been going over a lot of plays and things we need to fix, and just preparing to.
You already looking at film for Friday night?
Yes, sir. We've been going over it and studying their plays and.
Well, terrific. Again, that extra week could be a real advantage to you. But Coach also says really important to get that 36-7 win out of your mind. You got to focus on this upcoming game. How do you do that? This game is so much a mental game. How do you personally do that?
A win's good, but always looking for another one. You just got to get by it. Don't dwell on the past.
Yeah, that W column, that's a good place to be. It's a good feeling. You want to stay there.
I think we should put last week behind us and just focus on move forward on do what we got to do.
Let me ask you a couple of personal questions then. What do you like to do when you're not playing football, practicing football, thinking about football, mentally preparing for football? I know it's kind of an all-encompassing thing, but what do you like to do in your spare time?
Study. You got to keep up with them classes. So.
Did I hear Coach say you're a senior?
Yes, sir.
College plans?
Yes.
Football?
I hope so. I want to.
When the phone call comes, huh?
Right. I was actually gonna join the Marines after high school. So.
You were or are?
I am.
That's fantastic. Congratulations on that. And you, Ramon, are you a senior?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What are your plans at this point? Maybe you don't know.
After high school, I'm planning on going to college. Not sure where though, but that's what I'm planning for.
Good for you. What do you like to do in your spare time? Are you one of those Game Boy games?
No, I don't.
Gamers, I mean.
No, I don't really play video games that much either. It's homework or on the weekends just work.
Brandon, how much time do you spend on Facebook this week?
I don't do Facebook.
Well, good. Well, that's refreshing. How about you, Ramon?
A
little bit.
A little bit every once in a while.
That's kind of a good way to stay in touch with friends. And even after school, after high school, a couple of the players were talking about Facebook the other day and what an opportunity that'll be for them to keep up with their teammates after the high school experience. What's maybe the one or two things, but at least one thing that you would say is the best thing that you're going to take from your football experience? All the years you've played and coming all the way up through high school. What are you going to take from it?
I take that it's taught me discipline and learned to be stronger and successful.
In a lot of different ways, isn't that the truth? What about you, Brandon?
Family. I've played with these guys for about 10 years, most of them 10 years, and just built a really strong friendship.
And that is terrific. Well, congratulations on that win 2 weeks ago. Now get it out of your mind. Get ready for Friday night. Have a good day of practice and good luck next week, but then in your district opener 2 weeks from now.